Obviously, you love St. Augustine, so any excuse for a visit is a good one. But was there a special reason you chose to go in July when Florida feels like Satan's armpit?
I had the good fortune of meeting Sarah in college. USF Boulder we. Although that meeting might not have happened had it not been for air conditioning, but we'll get to that shortly. While I couldn't stand the heat and got out of the kitchen, Sarah has remained a resident of the state since she was 2 years old, and once again, that state is Florida. Today, Sarah lives with her husband a little north of Tampa. Their travels take them around Florida and all over the southeastern U.S. in pursuit of music, food, and great beaches. And today, she is here to talk about one of her favorite destinations, St. Augustine. So without further ado, we welcome our today's guest, Florida correspondent Sarah Nelson. Hey, there's your last name. All right, and let's pull her in.
What's up, guys?
Hello. It's a pleasure to have you on our podcast today.
Wait, what state do you live in? I didn't fully catch that.
I know, right?
I live in the land of the South. I live in the lovely state of Florida.
The lovely state of Florida.
That's amazing.
The lovely swampy state of Florida.
I love Tampa for a couple of reasons, and both of those reasons are you too.
Aw. Well, come on. Tampa has great restaurants, lots of stuff to do. You can hop over the bay. You can go to St. Pete. It's a great town.
True. Very true. All of that.
Are you on their payroll?
You know,
No,
No.
but that government stipend would be great.
It's funny because this is how you've always talked about Florida to me, because I'm not originally, I think I only lived there a year and a half when I was there. And I think I've learned more about Florida from you directly than anyone else I know, weirdly enough. Like, you were the one who took us
told
to
you plenty about Florida.
No, you have, just not as much as Sarah.
Oh, okay.
Like, you're the one who took us to Homosassa Springs.
Love Homosassa Springs. They have a hippo. It's a state resident. Thanks
Oh my
to
God,
Los
yes.
Childs.
I love it. That was really
Walking
fun.
Latin Childs.
Oh my God. We did where you live in the area, as well as actually not in Tampa proper. And I love that part of the greater metropolitan area, if you will. Like, it's just kind of, it's rural, but it's not like.
It's excellent.
Oh, it won't be for long.
That's true.
The
But
building is insane. Soon we're just going to be overrun. Traffic's going to be horrible, but not as bad as Tampa. It'll never be as bad as Tampa.
That's fair. That's hard to top.
It's, well,
but I love that area because, again, it still has that sort of like rural charm, and you can see a lot of the original weird depth of Florida. Like, it's a very flat space, which is very intriguing to me because it's all sea level ish and swamp and
I mean,
such.
Orlando's a good 50 feet above sea level.
You know,
Well,
sure.
we can drive 15 minutes from our house and be in beautiful hilly areas with farms. It's so pretty.
Yeah. I mean, it's stunning out there. I love it.
It really is too.
Yeah. No, I absolutely love what I have experienced with the two of you in Tampa, in Florida in general. So, and I love that you're here to talk to us today about St. Augustine, because that is one of my favorite places in Florida.
That's
truthfully.
one of my favorite spots as well.
Before we jump into that, though, I do have a question that I did not clear with Jim first.
Oh no.
What t-shirt are you wearing today?
Oh, I am repping my Tampa Bay Lightning. I will be the
so
Thunder
funny.
till I die.
So are we.
Hey, look at that.
And I took it a step further. I'm repping your favorite guy.
Oh, my Vinny.
We also took it even another step further. We are enjoying this lovely vintage of 2020 Champions Red Blend.
I have that, but I haven't opened it because I just can't bear to do it. I love it too much. I'm enjoying Purple Pachyderm. It's a Les Claypool wine.
Okay. That's very appropriate given the theme of today's show. Like,
that's a good point.
We're going to be talking about St. Augustine, but you were in St. Augustine for a specific reason.
I
Not
was.
to see the gorgeousness of St. Augustine, but let's go ahead and dive into the questions with that. So why don't you tell us a bit about St. Augustine's history?
St. Augustine's history. So, St. Augustine is a really cool town, and we're lucky to have it in the state of Florida. It's the oldest continually inhabited European settlement in the United States.
Oh,
It was
you had that.
established in 1565.
Dang.
All right.
Like I knew all that, but dang, you were like at the ready.
I think she's got no cards.
I don't.
Are you rocking no cards? What's the story here?
She pulled that out of here.
I have nothing in my hands.
Nothing in her sleeve.
That's fine.
Behind her
I'm
ears.
reading off a sheet as well, so it's all good.
Although it's been inhabited since 1565, it really became a tourist destination in the 1800s.
That early.
So Henry Flagler visited in 1883, and he decided it'd be a great place to create a tourist town. So he built the Hotel Ponce de Leon, which is now Flagler College.
Oh.
And he built the Hotel Alcazar, which is now the Lightner Museum. And he bought the Cordova Hotel, which is right across from Flagler. So it's basically like Flagler, the hotel, Cordova Hotel, and then Hotel Alcazar is behind that.
Gotcha. Okay.
And it has the fort that was built in 1695.
Which is gorgeous.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Like it's incredible. The great thing about like Henry Flagler was like, oh, I'm just going to build this town, and then I'm going to build railroads to come to it to bring people here. So he created this entire thing.
That's amazing.
Created the myth of Florida.
I mean,
in a lot of ways.
So I always do this. My Florida geography is for some reason not great. I always think Tarpon
Probably
Springs,
my only good geography.
yeah, like I always think Tarpon Springs is south of Tampa. I don't know. It's like a whole thing. So Saint Augustine is in the
northeast, so it's just south of Jacksonville.
Yeah, just below.
I'm actually looking at your Florida map, and I'm like, Jim's got this, and you know this, but this is just for everyone else. But Jim has this absolutely stunning map of Florida, and it is original to the date of 18 something.
It's the 50s, 1850s.
Yeah, and it's wild to look at. Like, maybe we'll show a picture of it on here or something, but it's very crazy to look at because you can tell like the
changes. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, not just the changes, but the oh my gosh, the word just escaped me.
Geography?
Yeah, it's kind of like the proportion.
The districting. Oh, the proportion.
Yeah, the proportions are all off. So you're just kind of like,
that's funny. When we were in St. Augustine, we were just wandering around. It was very hot outside. So we stopped into the governor's mansion, which you can't see a lot of stuff. They had an art exhibit in there, and they also had a map exhibit of Florida maps from the beginning of when they started doing maps all the way to current. So you could see the change in the counties and the cities and everything. It was really cool.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah,
it was really cool.
They used to think there was like a canal or river that cut across the entire lower portion of the state and cut it into an island. Yeah, it's
that's just Okeechobee.
Right. It's big.
That's, I can imagine why that would be the case, because Okeechobee does, like, it's hard to tell what it is. It almost looks like
it's surprisingly shallow too, is the other, like, the wild part about that.
Yeah, isn't the average depth like 3 feet or
it's something along those lines.
Like,
yeah, and there were probably giant alligators, and they were like, no thanks.
Yeah. Alligators and apartment complexes. It's just it's amazing how times change, isn't it?
Wait, around Okeechobee?
In Gators?
No. There's apartment complexes around Okeechobee. I thought it was protected.
Oh, no. I mean,
there is some housing there.
Oh, I think I had a pretty moment. I'm having one of those have to think things through days.
I mean, you seriously can, though, find alligators in retention ponds and everything. I was actually talking with a couple of friends of ours from Philly, and they're like, "Are they really alligators everywhere?" And I'm like, "No, yeah, that's real." Like, every
body of water has at least one alligator in it.
Yeah.
Important people, do not feed the alligators.
No.
Never, ever.
Wildlife. Never feed wildlife. Let's
yes.
Correct. But
100%.
why specifically alligators? This is really good to know. Like, is it bad for the alligators?
Yes, it's bad for the alligators, it's bad for the people, and it's bad for the environment. So you feed an alligator and you teach it that people are going to feed them. So then it meets another human being that doesn't feed them like the good human being it is. And so it goes after that person because it doesn't
Mhm.
have food for it.
And it's
It's
already
just a
coming up to that
bad
person
idea.
because it's
Yeah.
hungry. Yeah.
Never feed the wildlife, especially alligators, because they will eat you.
Accurate. So coming back to what you were saying about the geography of St. Augustine, you said that after all of this was built up, that Flagler built railroads to bring people to the city. So tell us more about why and what the result was of all of that.
So he built those railroads and then convinced all his rich friends to come. And once he convinced them to come, it just blew up. I mean, there's a lighthouse there that was built in 1871.
Mm,
And it's not the first lighthouse, I don't think. There was a original lighthouse and then they rebuilt the lighthouse. That's the lighthouse.
Hey.
Um
so pretty.
yeah, so Jason and I visited the lighthouse at night.
Okay.
I wanted to do a ghost tour. And
Oh,
Ooh.
that sounds
yes,
fun. I
they
almost
offered a ghost tour. So that's what we ended up doing is it was like a 10 p.m. ghost tour.
That sounds
Oh,
amazing.
dang it. Wait, how long do they go? Is it like
I want to say it was like 2 hours. I can't quite
okay?
remember.
Because St.
But they
Augustine stays up kind of late, but not like most places
No,
in
they
it's not
actually
a party.
there's some areas where you can go out and, like, eat and they're up, like, especially St. George Street,
Okay.
but the neighborhood itself, they have, like, strict, curfew not curfew, but, like, quiet after 10 p.m., quiet.
Oh,
So if
wow.
you get an Airbnb, which we did, and it
Mhm,
was only a couple blocks off St. George Street, so a
mhm.
lot of stuff was in walking distance.
Okay.
But it was really quiet at night. There was no noise whatsoever, so it was
That's
That's
really
super cool.
wild.
nice.
Yeah, I actually like that.
They tell you when you're looking at Airbnb, like, everything has to shut down at this time, like,
Okay.
no loudness and everything, which is fine for me because I
We're
like
old.
my sleep.
Yeah, right.
10 PM. I've been in bed for 2 hours
Oh my
already.
god.
But
I
getting back to the lighthouse, I have to tell you about the ghost tour.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
It was really cool. You basically meet, like, there's a group and the people that guide the tour, they're like super knowledgeable. It's really interesting because the
Okay.
whole tour revolves around the lighthouse.
Mm.
So it's
Mm.
all about people that died there. And I mean, it's a very long history. So people that died there and they still haunt the place and you can get like little ghost detectors, which is, fun. Um
Is it like the thing from Ghostbusters with the
Not quite. It kind
I
of
was
looks like a remote control.
I
Um
was
Probably
kinda
probably
hoping
is.
I was kinda hoping this was gonna be like a Universal Studios Harry Potter wand thing where, like, they have different, like, RAF little
well, it's
transmitters
like
around.
it has like a gauge and colors. So like if it goes up and all this stuff, then
Wow.
you're in the presence of something.
Ooh.
Okay.
Mine did not go off. Um
Ghosts wanna hang out with you? What's up?
but one thing I would mention is bug spray. Bug
Okay.
Yes.
spray.
Okay.
All right.
Because it's the lighthouse is on Anastasia Island and
Mm.
it's really it's a huge park. So it's
Mhm.
wooded, the whole
Um,
area,
yeah.
except for, where it's cleared out for the lighthouse and everything. But they have trails you can walk down to go find the ghosts that live out there, which I didn't do
Wow.
because whoa,
Like
bugs. And it was
ghosts, no.
super dark. And I was just like, I'm gonna stick to the buildings and stuff. Um, but I ended up they sell at the gift shop. So if you forget your bug spray, they sell little bug spray wipes for like $1 a piece. So I bought a
Awesome.
couple of those and we wiped ourselves down. But I would highly recommend bug spray because the
Okay.
mosquitoes are like this big.
State bird.
Yeah. The state bird eats the other state bird. Um
Mm.
but I would highly recommend Bug Spray, but it was really fun. The stories were really interesting. You got to learn a lot of history about the lighthouse on top of
Okay.
the ghosts.
Ah,
You got to learn a lot about like the different keepers and their families and about how this lighthouse was built to
mm.
replace the old lighthouse. And the people that did the guided tour were really great. They knew their stuff. And the ghost tour, you get the opportunity to climb the lighthouse,
Oh,
Oh, that's awesome.
which
worth it.
I highly recommend if
Mhm.
you're in shape,
Uh-oh.
which I'm not. And
I
B,
was
you
safe.
are not afraid of heights. You don't have vertigo or anything like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fair. Yeah.
Because I am very afraid of heights.
Mm,
And I had a hard time being
mm,
up high like that because the
Okay.
stairs are like that mesh metal. So
mm,
you could
So you could see
I
right through
couldn't
'em.
even look at my feet without seeing down.
mm-mm.
So I had a really hard time with that on top of not being in shape. I made it to the top and I walked and it's hot in there. There's no
Yeah.
air conditioning in a lighthouse, so it's really
Mhm.
hot. I made it to the top. It's really cool. It's really cool. And the views are great, day or night. I'm sure they're great at the day. They were great at
Yeah.
night.
Mhm.
But I took one step outside and I was like, no. And
Oh,
I almost had a full-blown panic attack because I'm that
yikes.
afraid.
Ooh.
So if you're afraid of heights, you might want to skip climbing the lighthouse.
All
Gotcha.
right.
If you're
Good to know.
not and you're able, I highly recommend it. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Jason, my husband, took a great stroll all the way around while I was inside the top of the lighthouse doing my breathing exercises.
Uh, that's
I
understandable.
don't mean to laugh, but that's really
I
funny.
mean,
Oh my
your
God.
pain brings
He's used to it because I don't let my fear of heights stop me from doing things.
Yeah.
I've done things that are high up. I've done scary stuff. I went across the mile-high swinging bridge in North Carolina. I went to the top of the Space
Ooh.
Needle. I'll do it. I just don't like
It's
Yeah.
not your favorite thing.
it.
Got it.
I think I might be I might be in that camp too. But that lighthouse is really something else. And it's the first lighthouse I had ever gone up. And I think it kind of secured in a way my fascination with lighthouses. Like my dad's an engineer, and one of the things that I really love is all these lighthouses tend to offer diagrams of like the structure, the internal structure of the building,
Mhm.
the structure of the lens. I don't
The
remember.
lens is super interesting because there's so
Yeah.
many different
Fascinating.
kinds. There's like the clamshell lens, and
Mhm.
it's really cool.
So, what did you think? We're gonna dive into this question here. What did you think about the walkability of the area?
Mm,
Very walkable. So,
okay.
like
All
I
right.
said, we got an Airbnb.
Okay.
You can edit that out. Um,
You were just talking about Alex Barre Bourlet.
Oh my God, well played.
so
Oof.
we got an Airbnb, and it was a great Airbnb. It was actually the cleanest Airbnb I've ever been to. It was great, private, loved it. And we were only 2 blocks from St. George,
Mm,
which is basically the thoroughfare for tourists.
okay,
And it's a street, but it's like the historic street, so it's
Mhm.
all walking, there's no cars.
gotcha. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, and is it
Yeah.
I don't is it cobblestone? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah,
Or brick or
um,
something?
yeah, it
Okay,
is. And it's
so
all storefronts, um,
yeah,
bars, restaurants, little museums, stuff like that. So it's basically St. George Street is 1 block off from the water.
okay.
So St. George runs from, I can't remember street names, but there's the gate to the city. I don't
Mhm.
know if you have that picture. Well, maybe we'll come to it later. And it runs all the way down
Mm,
to basically where you start to hit like the Lightner Museum and stuff. The
gotcha.
Lightner Museum is a little bit off St. George Street, but it's in the same vicinity.
Perfect.
And there it is, gate to St. Augustine. So
Nice.
that is the actual gate.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Very cool.
yeah, it's really, really cool.
And
And
what
oh, go
never
ahead.
mind. I'll leave that alone. Go ahead. I have a thought, but it'll come around when we start talking about the fort. So go ahead.
Okay. So St. George Street is great. There's so much stuff on there. Besides shops, I mean, obviously you're gonna have tons of souvenir
Mhm.
shops.
Mhm.
There's little boutique clothing shops, which
Mhm.
came in handy because we forgot our clothes for our fancy dinner.
Oh, no.
So we ended up having to go shopping, and I found a great dress for like $35.
Nice.
Um, Jason had a harder time finding a shirt than I had finding a dress,
How
which was
So
fascinating.
crazy to me.
the prices are funny though, because the prices I remember being real good down there. Like for a tourist destination, like it's not tourist prices.
It's not super expensive, but it also
Yeah,
depends on what you want to do,
true.
you
Sure.
know?
Yeah, that's fair.
Um, but there's great little like local restaurants. We had breakfast one day at Mimi's Crepes.
Oh,
Delicious.
Okay.
Mickey's. Yes.
Hit Mimi's Crepes.
Yes, I've
So
been there.
good. They have savory and sweet crepes. They're very,
Mhm.
very good. They make them right in front of you, and they have this adorable little courtyard in the back that you can eat in. It's great.
I love
So
it.
recommend Mimi's Crepes.
Very cool.
Um, there's the oldest schoolhouse in the country. It's like this little wooden schoolhouse. I wanted to get a picture of it, but I was there on holiday weekend, people. It was packed.
Okay.
So getting a picture of something like that without 100 strangers in front of it was virtually impossible.
Fair.
They
Yeah.
have like little spots you can peek in and see what like a settlement looked like a
Mhm.
little one room home.
Mhm.
They have what is it? A water mill,
Like where they
like
manufacture water?
the water.
Oh.
I can't remember
Not in the
what
H
they're
and the
called.
2O.
Yes, they
The
create water.
it's a
It's
water
they
powered
make it with oxygen
Two parts
and
hydrogen.
hydrogen.
I know what you mean now.
We should stop picking on poor
It's
Adelaide.
fine. It's fine. It's Friday. It's not a normal day that we do
Oh,
this.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
fine. I don't normally drink during these anymore, so this is a whole new world for me
Also
as
true.
well. I'm basically riding a flying
Yeah.
carpet
So
now.
the oldest wooden schoolhouse, that's what they have, colonial quarters. So that's
Mm,
the little area that they have that you can see what it was like to live there. And at
gotcha.
the end before you go into kind of regular world is the Plaza de la Constitucion. Can you
Ooh.
say that better in your
Plaza de la
Spanish than I did?
Constitución.
Plaza de la Constitución.
But it
Plaza.
was created to celebrate the Spanish Constitution of 1812, and it's really cool.
Nice.
Really
Okay.
cute
Okay.
little park.
Okay.
Did you have a picture of that? Let me see if I can find
I
that.
don't think I did.
Don't look
Maybe.
that way.
God, these pictures. I'm so
I
I
mean,
feel
I
bad
did, but you
for not
told me to
showing them.
limit my pictures, so I limited my pictures. But the other thing that's really cool, and I honestly don't remember enough to give you a good solid telling of it, but they have like a civil rights memorial in that same plaza.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
And it's walking in someone's footsteps, so there's footsteps down the sidewalk. It's really cool.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Is that an installation? Is that new? Is it temporary? Like,
It's
is
an
it?
installation. It's always going to be there.
Oh, that's amazing.
Very
I
cool.
don't know that we saw that the last time we were there. I mean,
I
I
don't
can
think we
say for
did.
certain I have not seen it, but I don't know if it was there the last time we were there. That's maybe what I should say.
The other place I would like to mention on St. George Street, since we're talking about it, is because we went there twice. It's called Prohibition Kitchen,
Oh,
and their cocktails are phenomenal.
okay. Done.
Nice.
Sold. We'll go there together.
They're very,
Prohibition.
very, very busy. So both times we went, we basically we just got a seat at the bar. Like, and that's
Okay.
hard to do. We got lucky.
Yeah.
Yikes.
But their cocktails are great, and we got like snack foods one time, and they had poutine. Yum.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
you just said the magic word there.
Huh. Done.
But
Sold.
they have this like hibiscus spritzer cocktail.
Good Lord.
Amazing.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
I love mixology.
Prohibition Kitchen.
I have personally gotten way into mocktails, and it's helped me appreciate so much more what I actually like about alcohol.
She's living healthy.
I am. Well, it's not just that though, but it's like when I do drink alcohol, it's like, oh, I'm really missing the tequila in this, or I'm really missing the vodka in this. Like I can taste how the flavor could be enhanced by
Yeah.
a certain
I found I'm really into the flowery stuff. Like I really
Yeah.
love hibiscus cocktails.
So good. I like
Interesting.
citrusy stuff, and I've gotten real into bitters, like messing around with different flavors of bitters. That's a whole new experience. I love it. But that actually leads into one thing that I really personally love about St. Augustine
Mhm.
is, to your point, the drinking culture in St. Augustine is not the same as the drinking culture in a lot of other parts of the United States generally, but what you think of when you think Florida. It's certainly not Daytona Beach. It's not
No.
No,
Cocoa Beach. It's not even
no.
Tampa for that matter. Um, although there are places where I would say there's maybe some overlap. But the thing that I loved the most about St. Augustine was the hotel, near the hotel where Jim and I were staying, walked, which I love, over to an outdoor, like a cafe with like an outdoor seating area at night. And they sold cigars
Yep.
and they sold good alcohol. And I got like an old fashioned, which is kind of my go to, and bought a cigar. And I sat outside with Jim and we just sat in that beautiful night air that you get in that part of the country in, I think it was like
April?
April,
No.
something like that. And just people watched
People watching is great there.
and just had the best night doing effectively nothing.
Nothing.
Yep.
Yes.
Just chill out.
Yeah.
One thing I'll mention, because circling back to the walkability,
Mm.
so walkable.
Okay.
The only thing we had to drive to was the lighthouse
Okay.
Okay.
because you
Yeah,
have
the
to go
lighthouse
over
is
the
like
Bridge
that.
of Lions.
Ooh. Do we
Okay.
have that?
Oh, and we drove to the concert. That's right. The whole reason we went there was to go to a concert.
I was
I
getting to
forgot
that.
to mention that.
That's quite all right.
We will definitely get there, but yes, that is hilarious because I
But
want to
yes,
hear your story about the venue again because that was really fun. But
yes. There was a couple other places I wanted to go that we would have had to drive to.
Mm.
But as far as walkability, part of the reason we didn't go to them is because we went in July. It was, like I said, July 4th
Brutal.
weekend,
Brutal.
and it was very, very hot. So
Mhm.
people, I know you know it's hot in Florida. We all know it's hot in Florida. It gets hotter every year. I
Ugh,
don't know why this could be.
That's
No
so
reason.
weird.
No reason in particular.
I don't know, but it's getting hotter every year, and it was so
I'm just gonna drink my
hot.
wine.
So we walked places, and part of the good thing about getting an Airbnb that was really well located,
Mhm.
and I suggest you do, or a hotel that's really well located,
Yeah.
Mm.
is we would go out for a couple hours. We'd be so hot and sweaty. We'd go back to our Airbnb and cool off. Like I would literally change clothes,
Mhm.
Mhm.
pat myself down, and
Mhm.
relax.
Yeah.
Let
I'm s-
myself relax in the air conditioning.
Yep.
The other thing that I highly recommend,
Mm.
since it is a very walkable city, no matter what time of year it is, I don't care if it's December or July.
Mm.
Sunscreen.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Absolutely.
Sunscreen is 100% needed, no
Okay.
matter what. I don't care if it's cloudy. The UV rays, they shine on down.
Mama
So
Sarah gonna tell
wear
you.
your sunscreen. I am very fair.
Mhm.
I burn in the blink of an eye.
We're
Sunscreen,
daywalkers, you and me.
wear a hat,
Mhm.
That's why
make
I
sure you're
wear my baseball
covered.
cap on at all times.
It's very important. Um, I
Was the
cannot stress to you how hot it is and how easily you can get sunburned. We saw more than one person down, like flat out down, passed out, throwing up with heat stroke.
Oh my god. Yikes.
You
Yeah.
need to have water with you at all times.
That shit is serious.
Yeah,
All
at least
times.
2 liters a day. Like
Yeah.
there's a reason
At
this is in
bare
my
minimum.
life. But I mean, it's not that it's just plain hot. It's that, again,
It's humid.
It's a swamp. It's a literal swamp. So the humidity is like 80% with, and it's like 96 degrees outside. So yeah,
It's true.
the temperature is not getting above 100. So all the people in the Southwest are like, oh, this is nothing. Your planes can still take off. But then they walk around and it's like, why am I dying? And it's like, because you get in the shade and it doesn't affect anything.
It's impossible to cool off because no sweat evaporates.
Right. That's why you have to get into air conditioning or get in front of a fan.
You will sweat.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Don't think your deodorant broke. You will sweat. And ladies, your hair will not stay nice. So be prepared to put it back.
That's amazing. I
never
would have considered that.
I mean, seriously, your hair will get wet and frizz and be nuts. Just throw it in a ponytail and forget it.
Yeah.
Forget your hair looking good in pictures.
Not gonna happen.
Just forget it all. It's hot. It's nasty.
Yeah, no.
I mean, you can come, like, the best time to go is probably in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You won't sweat.
Depends on which winter.
Maybe. It depends on the winter, but it is getting colder. Again, I don't know why that is.
No.
But you still need sunscreen.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Florida's next door neighbors with the sun, in case nobody knows this.
I thought you were going to say they were next door neighbors with Australia, but
no. Florida's.
Why can I only see half your face, Addie? That's better.
It's a false narrative. I'm just.
She's there.
She's
there. It's doing myself a little bit better.
But yeah, right. But I mean, it really is like the Australia of the United States. Did you take extra changes of clothes, just specifically for the heat or anything?
Yes.
Or did you find yourself changing clothes?
I always pack extra clothes just in case.
Smart.
Always.
Like what kinds of what's good stuff to take?
Well, honest to God, I wear tank tops and shorts in the summer. Like tank tops, shorts. If I'm going to do a lot of walking around, I usually bring a comfortable pair of sneakers. But I'm a sandals girl.
Yes.
Birkenstocks. I wear Birkenstocks. I'm a dirty hippie.
Oh my.
But if I'm walking around a lot and I'm going to sweat, sneakers are probably the better way to go. Some kind of sneaker.
Also fair. Fair.
Good to know.
All right. Since you touched upon it, what brought you to St. Augustine other than the fact that it's amazing? What brought you to St. Augustine on this particular trip that we're talking about here?
So we were going to a concert at the Saint Augustine Amphitheater. We went to see
music concert.
Yes, we went to see The Smile, which is Tom York from Radiohead. And I'm really sorry, but I don't remember the other guy's name.
Isn't it Johnny Greenwood?
It's Johnny Greenwood and
thank you.
Yeah.
Tom
York.
Who's the drummer?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know.
But they just put out their first album and we really wanted to go. We're big Radiohead fans and we listened to The Smile and we were like, we can get down with this. And then we saw they were coming to St. Augustine. So we were like, that's just a hop, skip, and a jump from where we are.
If you're a big Radiohead fan, can you just call yourself a Radiohead?
No.
Oh.
No.
I tried.
No.
Oh, look, a cat.
So we went up there specifically for that. The venue is actually not far from the Lighthouse. So when we went and we ate at Osteen's. So Osteen's is a fixture. They've been there for over 50 years. And it's seafood. So they've got, the shrimp, the fish, like all of it. They've got hush puppies and coleslaw and all this great stuff. There's no reservations though. People, there's no reservations. So you have to get there and be prepared to wait. Okay. Because there is a wait.
What was the wait like for you?
40-ish minutes.
No, that's
not terrible.
It wasn't terrible. I'm sure, you never know. It's hit or miss. Maybe it was longer. My memory, I'm getting old. I kind of start to forget. But it was delicious. We sat at the counter because we just told them first available. We sat at the counter. The service was great. The food was delicious. I mean, and you got to be prepared to get down with that fried shrimp and that fried this
Fried
and
shrimp,
Mm, mm,
yes.
yum, yum, yum.
the hush
And
puppies.
it's like
Absolutely.
fresh seafood. So it's
Mm,
really, really good.
I love it.
yeah.
So I recommend Osteen's,
Okay.
Okay.
especially, as Jem mentioned in the intro,
Yeah.
I look for places to eat. We are foodies. So I research restaurants. I hit good restaurants. And Osteen's was on the list. It was worth the wait.
Oh,
So I recommend it. Also, parking is rough. So you might have to park like a block away and walk.
okay.
It's right on the A1A.
Okay.
Mm,
But delicious. So we went to Osteen's, then we drove out to the venue.
mhm.
The venue doesn't have a lot of parking. It's right in the state park for Anastasia Island.
Oh,
Gotcha.
wow. Okay. Wait, is the
If
Lighthouse a state park?
it's
Or
it's in the same area.
okay.
I thought the lighthouse was a national
That's what
park.
I'm wondering. Anyway, it's really not
Possible.
curious, but sorry, as you were.
You can look it up later.
I will.
Um
'Cause that is famous.
so the parking for the venue fills up really fast because there's not a lot, but they have
Gotcha.
satellite parking. So we ended up parking in like one of the park's parking lots.
Mm.
And
Mm.
they had a shuttle that would take you to the venue.
Oh, cool.
And as you're riding through the park, you see like campsites for if you want to like be a crazy person that camps in a tent, which I'm not, or an RV, which I could do. Um, but you go and then you go to the venue. The venue is amazing. It's a smaller amphitheater. It's not ginormous.
Okay.
They've got great drinks, they've got good food. It seemed to me we had really good seats because we were just above the pit.
Mm,
Oh,
So we
nice.
were pretty close. But it's
awesome.
smaller, so I don't think there's a bad seat in the house.
Oof.
They've got lots of bathrooms, easy to find. They were clean. I really liked the venue.
Okay.
The concert was awesome. Go see the Smile. They just put out a second album.
Nice.
Getting good reviews.
I've not heard it, so I can't say.
When we left,
Mm.
there was a very long line for the shuttle.
Mm.
And I was getting ready to sit in the line, but Jason got a little confused and we ended up walking out of the venue.
Oh no.
And we had to walk back to our car.
Oh my god.
How far was that walk?
I don't know, like a mile maybe?
Oh my lord.
And
In the middle of the night.
Mhm.
Through a
I mean,
state
it was
park.
late. It
Yeah.
was like 11 o'clock.
And it does not cool off at night in
No,
Florida.
it's
for
not.
No,
those who
it
are
doesn't,
unaware.
people. It cools off in the winter. Like right now, time is relative. So right now it's February. It cools off in February at night.
Mhm.
But in July, it does
Mm.
not.
No, that's
Mm.
correct.
The sun goes down, but
The
it's
sun-
still
that is it.
hot.
Yeah.
Oh, rain falls, but the temperature does
Can
not
I-
change.
Oh no,
just-
rain does not change things either.
I just have to say, like, to this point, the way that Jim had originally phrased this question, I just caught on his notes, and it is cracking me up. Like, obviously, you love St. Augustine, so any excuse for a visit is a good one. But was there a special reason you chose to go in July when Florida feels like Satan's armpit?
I mean, it
I
was.
can't speak with authority as to what that feels like, but that is a
I can.
apt
Yeah,
description.
same.
No, I like specifically Satan's armpit, but yes, I know what
Yeah.
Florida in July feels like. Yuck.
So we walked back to our car,
Mm. Mm.
which
Mm-mm.
was okay. There was a group of people, so we all kind of walked in solidarity.
'Cause you were
Um,
confused and you're like, we're
Doing the
just
dirge of the Volga
not gonna.
boatman.
we just walked, and we passed the campsites, and I didn't have bug spray, and that kind of sucked.
Mm.
Oh
I didn't
god.
really
Mm.
get bit up because we were moving constantly, but
Okay.
bug spray. I know I mentioned it already.
Also
But
have
we
that
Keep
one,
woods off, y'all.
also if you can, always have that one person in the group who is a bug magnet. In our case,
It's
oh,
usually me.
A for effort. It is 100% me. I'm sorry. I have the photos to back it up. 100 plus mosquito bites. I stopped at 100 mosquito bites on my derriere
Ooh.
the last time we went to Assateague, which
Yeah,
was
that's no good.
well named. I got my ass bitten in Assateague. So,
But what I noticed is if we just wanted to hop up there for a vacation, what's the matter? You didn't
I'm
like my
just,
transition?
no, that he
He
thinks
didn't like your acetique joke.
that he thinks he's the mosquito magnet.
I still think I get plenty eat up.
I don't know. I think the sweeter you are, the more they like you, and therefore I think Addie is the magnet.
Touche. Can't argue that point.
I'm definitely the sweeter bitch.
Okay, what was I saying?
Oh, the walk back.
Oh, as I was walking back and I noticed all these, well, there were a bunch of us. It wasn't so bad. It was actually kind of nice. Like you could hear the frogs and crickets. They were singing their song and it wasn't too bad. It was kind of nice because you're walking through a park. So it was pleasant. And there were a bunch of us. So we weren't in any kind of danger.
Yeah.
It was just a long walk and it was hot.
About, right?
Gators aren't nocturnal.
I wasn't that worried about that. But seeing the campsites and realizing that if we wanted to hop up there for a concert, we could either go up there with some bicycles, park where we parked before and ride a bike.
Oh, yeah.
That would be dope.
To and from. Or we could borrow my aunt's RV and camp, and we wouldn't have to stay. We wouldn't have to pay to stay anywhere.
There you go.
And we could bring bikes, and the
Or
only thing we'd be paying for is the concert.
Yeah,
that sounds fantastic.
That actually sounds like a grand time. We might maybe plan that with you.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm getting emails from the amphitheater now, so I'm always looking like they got anything good.
Love it. I love it. Let me know if a Tribe Called Red gets down there. How far is Saint Augustine from Tampa?
I think it's like 4-ish hours
from Tampa.
It's always further than I think it is, but the drive never feels that far.
Florida's a surprisingly large state. And like it's one of those things where it's Tampa and
it's length, not girth.
I was gonna say it's not very long, but damn is it wide.
No, it's not wide, it's long.
Yeah, no, that's
the joke.
Hey there. Thank you for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Your support means the world to us, and we couldn't do this without you. We love to hear from our viewers, so please drop a comment in the comment section below. And remember to like this video and click the subscribe button so you can get all the latest news from TripB. If you want to show us a little extra love and support, head on over to patreon.com/TripB and select a level of support that's right for you. We hope to see you again soon. Until next time, have an adventure.